What's up, guys? Justin here, aka mHero25, with our final round of our March 14th duel, the precursor before quarantine. So this is a matchup I've been dying to play against, which is Lost World Dinos versus True King Dinos. So we're starting off with my opponent playing True King, activating Fossil Dig, getting Ash, now activating Terraforming to get into, I believe, Diagram. So I will say this about my opponent: he is still learning the deck, so a lot of the plays here are a little iffy, if not, fully formed in my opinion. This is just me because, like, as the more seasoned Dino player at my locals, I know most of the variants and how to play them and how to work with them. So after Miss, he adds after Oviraptor, he adds Miss to hand. He should have yeah, this is just weird to me, because why didn't you add Baby Sarosaurus to get to any of the dinos that you do have or do need? This was all just weird to me, in my opinion. He activates gets Aola and goes to Chambara and ends turn. So with this board, it's very easy for me to manipulate now. So I'm gonna activate Lost World. Gonna normal summon my Oviraptor effect and Lost World effect, give him a token. And then Oviraptor's effect resolves, dumping a Dino or adding a Dino, dumping Giant Rex. So I have a play here to activate Oviraptor's effect to attempt to eat the token negation destruction with Petite Teardown going to grave, special summoning another Dino from the deck. Ugh. These plays go by really fast now since I've become very experienced with it, but it's more of like how I want to resolve the board is where the devil and the details are. So I'm going for Pank, actually, because I must have Misk in hand. No, I have UCT in hand, so I get Giant Rex on the board for free. Probably gonna link away. So I was debating if I wanted to link away something, but if I wanted to go for Pentastag. But I really have a great board here. It's pretty strong. Pankratops cannot attack though, so that's the only thing that I didn't like, because I can't do tons of damage like I could if I went Pentastag route. But if I did that route, he would still have enough life points to live, and that would be the issue. I think that's what I ended up debating on for the longest while. So I think I did end up committing to that play, linking away to get to Pentastag. Even though I can't, I'll leave him right at 100 or 800 or something. Activate Miskin Grave, summon Petite effect, set Chambara, summon another Mist so I can set that up for next turn. Now I have two monsters in the field that cannot attack, and that really sucks for me, in my opinion. So I'm just going to Pierce for 35, attack over, send for 1,000. No, I'm actually not going to send for 1,000. I'm just going to Pierce damage, so it's I do 3,000 damage because it's at 1,000 attack, and I do 35. Yeah, I'd leave him just at 100 life points, and it's just damn, that sucks. If these two monsters could attack, it would have been better. But I needed the control because now I have Pankratops on board. I can set everything, so I feel very confident in my plays right now. So what's gonna happen here is he's gonna summon Oviraptor, I think. And Oviraptor is going to activate, and then I could chain Lost World, but I decide to do so. So I say I'm going to set the token here, so that way I can block it off, so you can't get a free C space. This is where it gets kind of murky, because Lost World does affect both players, so you really have to know how you are going to do your chains. Activate Miskin Grave, banishing one of his targets, and that ends up ending game 1 for me. So while we're sliding into game 2, again, I want to give my final shout out for this series of duels to my boy Scott at Stay Classy LLC. If you haven't seen any of his field settings, you gotta check him out. He has Dark Magician Girl, or had Dark Magician Girl. He'll have Cyber Dragons. Pot of Greed is personally one of my favorites. He has Time Wizard right now, and he's always working on more, depending on what the people want and demand. And if you're looking for mats that are not Yu-Gi-Oh related, he does sell Pokemon mats that are great and beautiful looking, so please check those out, guys. I'll have a link in the description down below. Alright, So off into game 2. Since I'm probably going to be going first, I'm setting in my D barriers, setting 6 and 6, just because I just don't want him to exceeds and really like screw me over. So I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna like put these in and hope for the best. So we swap decks, quick shuffle and pass, and we're gonna get to it. So obviously, I'm gonna go first because that's not a really good play. And this is the set 3 I was saying in my last video that I was mistaking, because I actually have 2 D barriers and a chalice set. And honestly, I was like, okay, cool, I'm good for anything. And then Lightning Storm happens. I forget how good this card is. So I just chain D barrier and just call Xyz, because there's nothing else I can really do except stop him from doing Xyz. Because I can take damage, because like the Xyz are what really like give him the overshot that he needs. But I can't allow VFD to come out, because that causes too many problems for me. And again, if you hear me calling it VFD, that is Catastrophe, True King of All Calamities. Sorry, Calamities. I just call it by the OCG name because it just sounds cooler. Activates Diagram. I chain with Ash. He has Lithos in hand, so that means he didn't have another target to go for. So he just sets 1 and pass. I set 1 and pass. It's been one of these very simple set 1 pass games. Flip summons Misk. Attacks for 18, so I'm now at 62 to his 8. This is me just like doing simple math on the top of my head, because I'm good at that. So set 1 pass. That's obviously a baby, because I wouldn't set an Ash Blossom, because I need that way more in my hand than anything else. Summons another Misk. We're both pretty dead. Attacks into Petite. I'll take another 18, so now I'm at no, wait, he doesn't attack if I remember correctly. He just went straight into main phase 2 and goes into Dolka, which was kind of a why did he not do that? Special summons Kaku, because as long as there's an extra Mancha in the extra Mancha zone, it can be special summoned. Yeah, so that was a problem, kind of, because he just got two big bodies on board. Activate Fossil Dig, my own Fossil Dig, which ends up being a great top deck, which helps me set up my plays, because right now I'm just trying to make sure I get some decent bodies on board. So I'm just deciding how to get over Dolka on being on the receiving end. So I'm going to activate Oviraptor. I'm going to add Oviraptor to my hand, just to reveal like, okay, is this cool? Cool. So now we're going to normal summon Oviraptor. Oviraptor effect, he's going to chain and destroy it, and that's exactly what I wanted, because now I'm going to special UCT by banishing the 2 dinos that are now in my grave and attack over Dolka and Kaku. So now the duel is in my court, and it's pretty much at my tempo. Rare thing to do when you're top decking, but that's all I can do. I just pass. He activates Pot of Extravagance, banishes 6 cards, draws 2. Honestly, I'm not sure how the ruling really goes on that, if I'm supposed to shuffle his extra deck or anything, but it was like, whatever. He did his play, he did his thing. We're good. We're not at YCS or at a regionals right now, so we're not going to stress out too much about this. So he's trying to see what he's supposed to do with his plays. He's gonna kaiju my conductor. Diagram here not doing a lot of work, or if any work at all. Just it's been sitting there not doing buffs of any kind. Activates Misk Engrave. I activate Misk Engrave. On activation, I'm gonna chain Call by the Grave and target the other Misk, because that'll negate its effect. The only thing I'm not 100% sure now, does it fizzle out, or does it actually pay cost to go and be banished? I think we misplayed that one. You should actually kept Misk Engrave. Activates Mystic Mind, passes turn. So now I'm stuck with the with Fierzen Monster with his open board. Can't do anything about it. So now it's just a simple game of me gaining card advantage and just trying to wait for the opportune moment, which is actually great for me. I'm slowly getting a hand back, which was probably a big mistake on my opponent. Activating another Extravagance, banishing another 3 to draw 1. Yeah, this Mystic Mine is really good at stunning your opponent, but it's usually like it shouldn't take more than like a few turns for you to really get your advantage back. But it's taking longer, so it's actually helping me out, where I can now have resources to get into cards to activate plays, to get more opportunities to, like, you know, use the board to my advantage. So now I'm just sitting here waiting, gaining cards again. I went from a 0 card hand to like a 3 to 4 right now, and that's just crazy to me. That it just like it's just letting it sit, and it's going doing a lot of work for me. So I'm setting one pass. I believe that might have been another Chalice or a D barrier. No, wait, why did I put D barrier in? I don't know. I don't remember what that set card is. In all honesty, I think it must be a Chalice. Activate full Fossil Dig to get most likely an Oviraptor, unless he's gonna go for a Misk. There's only like 2 cards he will ever go for in Dinos and Pure, but in this version you might go for the baby. But since he has a lot Mystic Mount on board, it doesn't really make sense for him to do that. So he's probably gonna act normal summon Oviraptor. Oviraptor's effect to dump, because now we have 1-to-1. So it is now a fair game to let things go on. Dump or add. I don't think he actually did anything. He didn't dump or add. And he was in end phase, but he's like, oh wait, hold on, main phase, and then he activate Misk in hand. Yeah, that was kind of a weird chain in my opinion. Now since Mystic Mine is gone, I can now go off. I actually had Fossil Dig, but I just didn't want to risk activating yet and giving out too much information. As long as Dolgrim was on my field, I had control and I could do more stuff than I thought I could. So yeah, it's just a big beater. It's intimidating. So now I activate not Call by the Grave, Lost World, normal summon Oviraptor, Oviraptor effect, Lost World effect gain a token, and Oviraptor effect to add Mist to hand. Oh yeah, that's a Call by the Grave now, because I was trying to do something and I just wondered how this would resolve. So now I'm going to activate Oviraptor effect by eating Oviraptor, because that can happen. That's a thing. And special summon UCT since it was first summoned out properly by banishing 2 dinos from my graveyard. So legitimate play, very smart play, good for the mirror matches, good thing to know. So now I am just sitting on a board of level 4, level 8, and level 10, trying to figure out what to do here, how to really get the best out of my board. Gonna attack over the token, and then then do 3,000 damage. Set 1 more, and just double check the grave and pass. So UCT doesn't seem like too much of a problem or an issue, but it really is, because against dinos, you know, just having oh, and he activates that's evenly matched, isn't it? So I activate Call by the Grave, activate D Barrier, banishing my Oviraptor and his Dolgaron. So now it's still, but UCT now is still a big contender on the board, causing a lot of problems for my opponent. So now I activate Pankratops, I activate Misk, because he forgot I had Misk in my hand. It's gonna be pretty interesting. Again, this is where I'm gonna call myself out. I did activate Call by the Grave on my opponent, and it was the same card in my hand, and I reread the card. I'm not sure how that would have ruled, so I'm just gonna ask a judge on that later on. He activates Trogeki while Misk is on the field, so it doesn't do anything. Special summons UCT. He needs to banish 4 costs first next time, but yeah, he's still learning the deck. He's been doing this weird thing of like flipping and unflipping his banish cards, which is actually a big problem, because it has to be we have to know what's public knowledge or not, because it can impact the game later on. So with 2 UCTs on the field, this is where it gets kind of tricky on how to do things. So he's going to activate UCT to pop to set my card. I'm going to activate my UCT to set his card. And I was really expecting him to use Lost World to negate the destruction of the token, but he didn't do that, which was crazy to me. That's an absolute absurdity to me. So now I'm just checking my graveyard, because it is now my turn. Flip summon UCT. Just trying to make sure what I have to play with. Bet attack to send UCT for another 1,000. And yeah, this is just becoming like what was once supposed to be a game for my opponent to win, and ended up being a game for me. Ended up just me having this great opportunity to win this game because of simple misplays here and there, and just forgetting about card effects. So summons Oviraptor, Lost World effect. place his token wherever he wants. Overraptor effect will resolve. But now he's at a point where it's like, okay, what do you do here? Because, you know, I still have interruptions on your play. You really don't have UCT to help you out and save you. Yeah, it's really hard for my opponent not to come out of this board, out of this field, even with a simple UCT. Yeah, that's why this card's so good, but it's still not ban worthy just because it's so specific to a deck. He activates Overraptor's effect to eat the token. I attribute it to flip. Again, he didn't use Lost World's effect to help save itself, and that's a big issue I have with the mirror match, and it's just more of like who knows the deck better ends up taking the duel. So at this point, I just drew for my turn. My opponent only has a set Overraptor with nothing in hand. I really consider dangerous, so I'm just going to swing in and push for game. Alright guys, and that's it. Alright, so thanks again for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please like and subscribe if you like these videos, and don't forget to check out my boy Scott at Stay Classy LLC for his wonderful products. Well, that's it guys. This is Justin, aka MHero25, signing out. Peace.